Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're back today with the Twin OK kart. I've decided to get this back out again and have a little bit of fun with it. Firstly though, there are some jobs to do. So if you watched Alan's video from last time, where we had a proper good day to be honest, there's some little updates that I do want to do. So one of them, in fact I'll just run through them all. So the first one we've got is the engine mount on one of the engines is not quite flush and sitting down correctly, so we're going to file that away, just so it sits right down on the rails perfectly. Second one is, you'll remember a problem I had in Alan's video where I was obliterating reeds, so I've got a system for that now that I'm going to put together, and I'll walk you through that one a bit later on. Third is this brake duct here that you'll see. So obviously there's astronomical power here, and stopping it, that's obviously why I've got beefy front brakes as well, but the rear brakes were overheating and I could really feel it when trying to pull it up at Woodthorp. So I've got this brake duct here just to help cool it, the brake disc at the back, so I've got to mount that. And the other job is airboxes. So I'm thinking these are normal OK trumpets at the minute, and I'm thinking of putting the KZ 30mm trumpets in and adjusting the carburation for the bigger airflow through the airbox. So that's the thing yet, but I haven't actually ordered them yet, so I need to do that from Woodthorp. So I'll do that before I do it. So there's a few little jobs that I want to do on the Twin OK before I go back out, and I'm going to run you through them now. We're hoping to get the kart back out in 2 or 3 weeks and run it again, so I'm hoping to do them before then. So one of the first ones is engine mount. So on this engine here, the engine mount doesn't quite sit down on the rails perfectly, so I'm just going to file that away, just so that it sits right down nicely on the rails, because we were seeing that this engine, even though it's got a stop on it, you know, everything, the ferocity of them is just pulling the chain, and we actually did lose one chain in a race, and we think it was down to the engine mount not being fully flush, so we're going to fix that. The other one is carb reeds. So if you watched Alan's video from Woodthorp, you'll know that I was obliterating reeds all the time, like every race, to the point where I was basically just trying to survive the final until the last few laps, and then I could go full speed. So I've got a system now for doing that, which I'm going to run through in a bit. So I'm going to rebuild one of these and show you what I've done with that. The other one is this brake duct here. So I was losing the rear brakes when I was racing last time. It's really not what you want when you're trying to pull up like 80 horsepower. Even with the front brakes, you know, you really do need the rear brake, and I could feel it pushing on. I've basically been boiling the fluid, so I've got that brake duct to fit, make that nice, and then bleed the brakes as well. Then the other thing I'm considering, which I've not done anything about yet, is these airboxes are the standard OK airbox, so they're 24mm. I was thinking of sticking the 30mm KZ trumpets on these, which I think you can get on their own, hopefully from Woodthorp. I'm going to stick those in and then adjust the carburation based on that. So that was another job as well. And then really, yeah, it's just prep for hopefully getting out in a few weeks at Woodthorp again and having some fun before the year ends. So yeah, that's the plan. And yeah, we'll get on with some jobs now. The other thing you might notice, if you're really eagerly eyed, is that kart in the back there. So you probably can't keep track of all the karts that I've got, but that is a new kart. And yeah, I'm going to do a video explaining that kart at some point. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. So this is the IME OK engine, one of them off the kart. And what we're having problems with was this engine mount sitting down properly. Even though it's the correct size, it just didn't seem to be sitting down perfectly. So off camera, I've basically just filed these away down here, so that it just sits much better now on the chassis. So that's one job done. Then the other job we're going to do is we're going to whip the carb off, whip all the reed stuff off, and then I'm going to show you what I'm doing with these reeds to hopefully stop them blowing near enough every time I go out. So we'll get that off. So what we've done with the reed is put this support piece, if it picks it up on camera, on both sides of the reed. So now I've got proper genuine IME reeds and this support bit here which goes round there, down there and up there, just giving each side of the support, each side of the reed petal, sorry, some support. And they look like that. So that's what's on. So we're hoping overall that just gives a good bit more support for the reed when it's bouncing off the rev limiter and it's getting up to the rev limit so quickly, obviously with the two engines, and I just don't think what we had in there could cope at all. So yeah, hopefully that fixes everything. We'll put that back together now. So there we are, guys. We are ready to get this okay back out on the track. So obviously airbox is done. These are a bit troublesome actually to source the correct ones for the active airbox. So we've got obviously both now all ready to go, the 30mm ones. So cheers to KART for sorting this out, because they managed to get some in stock in the UK. So we bought some off them. And yeah, so ready to go on the airbox front. Carbs all ready, reeds are obviously done, that's all nice. What else did we do? Oh, I've done the air duct for the brakes, so the brakes don't boil anymore. I've also cleaned the exhausts up, so these should come up nice and blue when we give it a run. Obviously brakes bled, I've got some spare pads for this as well. So I'm going to try some different pads just to see what difference they make. And yeah, we are ready to go. Fired it up the other day, so strapped up first time, which was unbelievable really, straight away, not a single problem, and running really well. It feels more responsive with this 30mm change as well. So yeah, looking forward to this one. And we will be at Woodthorp this coming weekend to give it another run, and I'm expecting it to be wet, so that will be very fun. And I think the tyres will end up a bit like that. So there's a lot of power going through here. So yeah, and then of course the Mach 1 as well. So this is all ready with the Rotax VMD on it, IB carb, got all that sorted. Had a lot of fun with the engine mount on this. They're a very peculiar sized engine mount. They are like, where the Tony KART wide's 125, these are 120, so I've got some mounts but then they don't fit the engines and the holes aren't quite right, so we've managed to actually sort a half decent mount for it this time. And yeah, this is looking really nice. Got spare pads for this one as well because they're a bit unusual in there. So yeah, that one is all ready. So I'm going to be running that in on the Saturday, get that done, and then jump over to that one as well. So yeah, there we go guys, all updates done on the OK, and we'll give it a run out and see what it does. We're back at Woodthorp today, just having some fun. I'm wrapped up really warm, suffering a bit with my asthma and the wind and the cold here this weekend, so it's all being a bit fun. But yeah, we've been doing all right, to be honest. We're doing both days, Saturday, Sunday. Had a good day Saturday. Tried out my new Mach 1 100cc chassis, which was really good, apart from the brakes. Brakes needed some work, so I've worked on them. And yeah, just ran in a Rotax VMD on that as well, which seemed really good. Funny enough, it's one of my old engine builder's engines from back in the day, and I had no idea. So that's quite funny. But yeah, really we're here to just try and just iron out the last bits of the twin really. Obviously we've made some changes and we're just looking just trying to make that a bit more reliable. So we've just had both heats this morning.
Heat 1 was really good. Did 32.1, so about 3/10 off what we did in May. And yeah, everything felt good. Then we've come to Heat 2, and yeah, got about 3 or 4 laps in, and then blew some reeds again. So we've just kind of, prolonged that issue. It takes longer to happen now. I think, there's a lot else I can do, really. So yeah, just got to check those reeds more. As soon as they start fraying, they need to be changed. So probably something we're going to have to check either every session or every 2 sessions, something like that. So yeah, just a characteristic of the car, really. So yeah, we've changed those, and we're going to go again for Heat 3 in the final. So we'll see what happens. So back in the garage now after Woodthorp. Had a really good weekend, to be honest. Couldn't really fault it apart from the obvious, which was one of the reeds blowing, which is just obviously something that we suffer with this setup, to be honest. So yeah, just need to keep more of an eye on that really. If anything's fraying, then just get those reeds replaced, and just gotta keep an eye on it. At least it's not like every other practice session or race now. So yeah, just something to keep an eye on. But other than that, I mean, it's gone really well. It's the first time we were in the wet, so I'm surprised that it didn't absolutely screw these tyres. Not sure how we managed that really. I must have a throttle like I've got an egg under my foot. But yeah, it went really well in the wet. I was wondering what these covers were going to do, but they were fine. And the brake cooling as well. So the brake cooling duct made a massive difference. Didn't get any boiling of fluid or any brake fade or anything like that. So that's obviously solved that. And yeah, again, just everything went pretty well, to be honest. Obviously we won the final in absolutely horrendous conditions. I couldn't see a thing. I was just driving on instinct. I'll probably upload a video of that on the channel at some point, but I just couldn't see a thing. Honestly, I couldn't see curbs, I couldn't see turning points or anything. So I was lucky to finish really. Nearly threw myself off a couple of times, but all good fun. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, now really just clean this up, put everything away for the winter, lube everything, and just get it ready for storage. So apart from this, I do have another project coming, so hopefully I'll get that delivered in 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to do some videos on that as well, something that I'll be competing in hopefully next year, off and on. I'm not doing any championships or anything like that. I'm just doing things for fun these days, as you can tell. So yeah, that's it really, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Give the channel a subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff, and I will see you in the next one.